Boy, did they just sneak this one right past everybody. These guys were awarded the Nobel Prize in 2019. And if you don't know who these two guys are, you're going to want to tap into this one. So they don't just pass out the Nobel Prize to just anybody, alright? Albert Einstein has a Nobel Prize, okay? So these two Swiss scientists were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics, okay? For something that they discovered in 1995, but they didn't get awarded the award until 2019, along with a third person, Canadian-American James Peebles. But they had groundbreaking work on cosmology and exoplanet. I'm going to say that again. Exoplanet. Now, here's the dope part, okay? These scientists have now identified more than 4,000 exoplanets, which are deemed by scientists to have a good condition for life. Now, take a look at this clip and breakdown of what these two astronomers found in the sky and the heavens above. It's mind-blowing, y'all.
This discovery in Switzerland of some Swiss astronomers, which was then documented and verified by astronomers in the United States. They discovered a sun star, just like the one we have. And there was a planet orbiting this sun star, just like the one we have. And the amazing thing was, they said that the sun star discovered was a duplicate of ours. For the first time in the history of the world, it has never happened before, there was a sun star. This was the second coming of the sun star. And where was it? In the constellation Pegasus. Behold, heavens open, and I saw a white horse. And so here then, this second coming of the sun star, or the second coming of Jesus, which actually is what Jesus is, appears right where the Bible said it would, in the sign of the white horse, which is Pegasus. In fact, at the bridle, the horse. And then the astronomers went on to say, because when you read this, it talks later in about the white horse, that there was thousands of others on white horses following the one on the white horse. And the scientists said, and we have, articles, that there are thousands of stars milling around here in a globular cluster, and they're approaching Earth, which are the light beings that we'll talk about later. And it says in there that they seem to be under the control of one giant central object. And it says that also that the sun star or the stars that are, what was I lost my train of thought. Forget what I was going to say. Okay, so anyhow, so we're looking at these thousands of stars which duplicate the revelation. We're looking about the second coming of the sun star. The importance of this is, I don't know how old you are, I don't know where you live, I don't know what you do, but what I'm telling you is this. The first time in the history of the world that a prophecy has ever been scientifically proved of something that's been said in the Bible has occurred in the constellation Pegasus, which is the sign of the white horse. It is a star which duplicates our sun, and it is the second coming of the sun star. It is the second coming of Jesus. That's the first sign. All right? Now, let's take a look at a couple of the stars in Pegasus. First of all, the word Pegasus means, Pega means chief, and sus means horse, and it also means swiftly coming. And folks, you don't know how swiftly. I mean, it is so swift that even the scientists themselves on television the other night were saying, we never dreamed it would be this fast. And they don't even realize the implications of this. The other stars are Markab, and Markab means returning from afar. Okay. The other star is Sheat, S-H-E-A-T, and Sheat means one who goes and returns. These are Arabic names of these stars. And the third star is Inif, E-N-I-F, which means the branch. So this is an exceptional thing. I mean, I don't know if You can read books, you can study scriptures, you can be in Old Age, New Age, you can be in Hindu, you can be in Buddhism, and all of this kind of stuff. What I'm talking about is something that you can look at with a pair of binoculars that has happened for the very first time in the history of the world, and it is right smack where the book of Revelation said it would be, at the bridle of the horse Pegasus. Now, Joni went out, put together a beautiful flyer, which you see. We set up 4 weeks that we're going to do lectures about Pegasus in February. We're starting the week after next. And, I'm doing Pegasus the sign, Pegasus the horse, Pegasus the truth, Pegasus and all. And I thought, we'll get this and we'll learn this. But I didn't have time even to think about what we were going to talk about in the lectures on Pegasus when pow, pow, it comes on television day before yesterday. The scientists have discovered 2 more stars with planets orbiting around. One in Virgo, the sign of the Virgin.
Born of a virgin.
And the other in Ursa Major. And I'll share just what this is. Now, here you have, what I have here is, later when you leave, and if you haven't seen this, the newspaper article, 2 new planets discovered orbiting distant stars. Astronomers have discovered 2 new planets, and at least one could have a warm, watery broth ideal for supporting the chemistry of life. Pretty soon, you're going to find one that's not 185 degrees, that's 85 degrees, and you'll know where our friends are coming from. One in the Virgin, he told a national meeting in which scientists can seriously address for the first time a real possibility of other worlds like the Earth existing around stars. We are at a watershed. So this is the dawning of a new field in science. These new planets offer a challenge to us. He doesn't really even know. He came 3 months after Swiss astronomers announced discovery of planet in orbit of the star 51 Pegasi. That Swiss discovery has been confirmed. The rapid-fire discovery of planets moves science closer to investigating directly the existence of life beyond the solar system. What has been left to the imagination is now going to be the subject of scientific inquiry, it said. All 3 stars hosting the new planets are within 40 light years of the Earth, and each is about the size of the sun. The planet orbiting in Virgo is about 9 times larger than Jupiter, and so forth. He said the water on it would be like a nice, toasty, warm bath or a broth that possibly could permit formation of complex organic molecules that led to life on Earth. And then he says, we are truly in the dawn of a new era, said Alan Boss of the Carnegie Institute of Washington. So, there's the first sign. And Pegasus has happened faster than we could get Joni to put together a newspaper article and start talking about it. 2 more have happened. First time in the history of the world. It's never happened before. And the prophecies are being fulfilled here. So you understand Pegasus. And that's where the first one, and that's the sign. Because what is happening and what is going on is this entity we call God is speaking in the stars to you. Because God is not a Christian, God is not a Jew, God is not a Buddhist or a Hindu or any of this other stuff. God speaks to the entire universe. That's why the message is in the stars, just like everything in the Bible was in the stars. The Bible quoted from the stars. The entire Bible is a book of astrology. That's why the sun star is discovered by astrologers. See? So God is speaking in the stars, and everybody's walking around, hasn't the slightest idea, and they're all in church dabbling in their myths, and they're all in church dabbling in these stories, but they have no idea what's going on in the very lifeblood of the universe that they live in.
Facts.
And so now the story, now the statements are being made. So we understand that the sign is Pegasus. The second sun star which has been discovered, and where is it born? Of a virgin. Virgo. Born of a virgin. Hey, look what it says. Go to page 583.
Talk that talk.
Before you go to 583, go to page 1. That's easier to find. And on page 1, look what it says. It's Genesis chapter 1. And on Genesis chapter 1, look at